D'Addario's newly redesigned NS Micro headstock tuner is even better than before. It has a wider opening ratchet grip, 360 degrees of adjustment, and a simplified button layout, designed in partnership with Ned Steinberger.
Hey everybody, I'm Ted Drozdowski, Senior Editor of Premier Guitar, and we've got a special rig rundown for you today with a guitar player whose playing I've always enjoyed. This gentleman is a terrific player, great songwriter, singer, producer. He does it all, and he's been nice enough to welcome us into his home studio today. It's Buddy Miller. Hey Buddy, it's tremendous to see you, man.
Thanks for coming over.
My pleasure.
I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
It's easier than me taking all this stuff somewhere else.
We were going to send a truck, but man, you know, there are so many great guitars around here, so much really cool studio gear. These two beautiful Swart amps with a swirling vibrato sound, tremolo sound that I just got intoxicated by. I don't even know where to start, but why don't we start with that guitar, if you'd like to.
Yeah, you know, I always start with this guitar.
All right.
I got this guitar. It wasn't exactly like this. It was unsold, unplayed, hanging in a window in a Colorado pawn shop that used to be a music store, I believe. Mm-hmm. This is how my memory works because it was 1976. It was called Wedgels, and I was attracted, like you know, most people are, to sparkles, and I just looked at the sparkles, and it had a sign on it, $85, and I didn't have much money. I walked by it 3 days in a row, and I thought, you know, the sparkles are worth $85. So I bought it. I took it to the gig that night. We were playing up there, and it actually sounded good. It blew my mind. It's a really strange guitar. It's called, for the first 10 or 20 years of owning it, I thought it was called a Noble because that's what this insignia is.
Yes.
But Noble, it turns out, was an accordion importer, an Italian accordion importer, and they just stuck that on there. That's from their accordions. I've got a Noble accordion now. Someone has since given me. It's called a Wandres, and there's a book on Wandres that came out for a minute in Italian and English.
Oh,
you can get either version.
English as well. Okay, okay.
Yeah, and on the back here, what used to be really visible, I don't know if you can see, it says "Made in Our Modern Factory." There's a little sticker, and Vondre Pioli was the guy's name. Had a round building that served as his factory. I don't know how long he made these for. It's got an aluminum, I wouldn't call it a neck if it's down there, but it is aluminum underneath this plastic. It's got a fair bit of plastic on it.
Yeah, and this seems almost like a Bakelite body.
Yeah, I don't know what this is. I do know it has a storage compartment should you need it while you're traveling.
That's handy. It might have been handier in the 70s.
Yeah, exactly. So it is aluminum under here, and then it gets to this other, it bolts together to another piece of aluminum that the pickups are then floating, 3 single coil pickups that float on top of. They don't touch anything, as you can see.
Yeah.
This aluminum bar, and this, check out the strings, the bridge. I don't know if you can see that or not, but if you break a string, when I was playing 6-hour nights, you know,
Yeah.
playing in clubs 7 nights a week, 6 hours a night, I would break a string in the middle of a song, and I got really good. It's like threading a needle, though. You see how that goes through this tiny little hole?
I do see that at the top.
Yeah.
Yep.
It makes no sense. The pickups on them were made by another Italian company called Devoli. This one's upside down and wired out of phase, which, you know, back then, I think it's late 60s is when they were made. Oh, and I should put them next to each other because they look really pretty.
They do.
So I got this one for $50. I offered him 50. It said 85. He said no problem. And I realized this is a good thing. So it took me a year to save up $250. I think there were 5 other ones there, and they still had every one of them.
Wow.
Yeah, a year later. He sold me 4. He said one of them's too high up on the wall and it's not worth $50 to get down. So I've got like 3.5 of these things. One's in the Country Music Hall of Fame, and these are the 2 I've got. The pickups I could demonstrate if you want me to.
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
They're single coil. This can be, can do a country. And then this is a nice round. And then the trick is you get out of phase. So that's pretty cool.
That is.
And every combination in between. So it's got a lot of strange tonal. And these 2 are sort of placed physically out of phase. So you can get a kind of a stratish. So it's been good to me. And also, the best thing that it's been to me is it keeps expectations really low when I walk in a room. It's gotten me gigs, I've come in for like